Hello and welcome to Crossfire, the show that dives into the heart of global conflicts, where nations collide, alliances shift, and lives hang in the balance. On tonight's show, we tell you how difficult it will be for the global community to rebuild Gaza after a 15-month war. Also on the show, we tell you how North Korean soldiers are now avoiding capture by the Ukrainian army by blowing themselves up. Stay tuned as we break down these critical developments and explore their impact on the future of global power and security. The guns have gone quiet in Gaza, but the silence is far from peaceful. After months of relentless conflict, a fragile ceasefire is now in place. As Hamas signals it may step back, the Palestinian Authority, Gulf nations, and global powers like the United States are stepping into the conversation. But with deep political divides and no clear roadmap, can Gaza truly recover from this devastation? Find out in our next report.
The guns have fallen silent in Gaza as a fragile ceasefire takes hold, but the scars of war are deeper than ever. This isn't just a pause in fighting, it's the beginning of an uphill battle to rebuild and govern a land left in ruins. So what does the future hold for a war-ravaged Gaza? The United Nations estimates that more than half of Gaza's structures have been destroyed. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened, leaving millions displaced. Critical infrastructure like water and power networks are in ruins. Most Gazans now rely on makeshift shelters with little to no access to food or clean water. Hospitals, already overwhelmed, are barely operational. And schools, most children haven't stepped inside a classroom in over a year. Rebuilding this broken territory will be no small feat. Experts say it could take up to 15 years and a staggering $50 billion. There's also the governance issue. For nearly 2 decades, Gaza has been under the control of Hamas. But that could change. Senior Hamas officials have signaled that they may be willing to step away from governing post-war Gaza, leaving the door open for a new administration. But here's the challenge. The Palestinian Authority, which governs the West Bank, is seen as its natural successor to power. However, it lacks the financial resources to rebuild and manage Gaza on its own. This also brings in international donors. Gulf nations like Saudi Arabia have been key players in reconstruction efforts in the past. But this time, they're demanding more accountability and are reluctant to provide blank check funding. The global stage is buzzing with diplomatic efforts. In Cairo, Hamas and Fatah leaders have discussed the possibility of a non-partisan committee under the Palestinian Authority to govern Gaza. The United States has called for international partners to help set up and run an interim administration. Meanwhile, talks are underway about reopening the Rafah crossing, which connects Gaza to Egypt. This could be a significant step in re-establishing the Palestinian Authority's presence in Gaza. But it's not just about governance or reconstruction. There is a larger geopolitical game at play. Israel has made its stance clear. It won't allow Hamas any role in post-war Gaza. Some far-right Israeli politicians have even floated the idea of reintroducing settlers to the region. Others in Israel are pushing for an international force to manage Gaza. With so many players involved and no clear consensus, the road ahead looks anything but smooth. But let's not forget, Gaza is more than just a territory. It's a symbol of the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has claimed countless lives and defied every attempt at resolution. So, will Gaza rise from the rubble, or will it remain a land caught in the crossfire of politics and power? For now, Gaza's future hangs in the balance.
The fog of war has brought a new twist to the battlefield in Ukraine. Reports of North Korean troops fighting alongside Russian forces have taken a chilling turn. This week, Ukrainian forces claimed that they encountered North Korean soldiers who are not only aiding Moscow but are also resorting to extreme measures, even blowing themselves up to avoid capture. So now the question is, how deep does this partnership go?
The fog of war has brought a new twist to the battlefield in Ukraine. Reports of North Korean troops fighting alongside Russian forces have taken a chilling turn. Ukrainian forces claim they encountered North Korean soldiers who are not only aiding Moscow but are also resorting to extreme measures, even blowing themselves up to avoid capture. After a fierce clash with Russian forces, Ukrainian special troops stumbled upon the bodies of over a dozen enemy soldiers, among them North Koreans. But the moment Ukrainian forces approached one surviving soldier, he pulled the pin on a grenade, ending his own life rather than surrendering. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces confirmed the incident, highlighting the unwavering loyalty of fear driving these soldiers. North Korea has reportedly deployed up to 11,000 troops to Russia to support its grinding war effort, making Pyongyang's most significant overseas military action since the Korean War. Analysts say these soldiers have been indoctrinated to see capture as treason, with some defectors revealing that suicide is considered an honorable alternative to becoming a prisoner. Ukraine has released images of two captured North Korean soldiers, one of whom expressed a desire to stay in Ukraine while the other wishes to return home. President Volodymyr Zelensky has suggested an exchange. These captured soldiers were Ukrainian prisoners of war in Russia. While Ukrainian troops fight on the front lines, they are now battling not just Russian soldiers, but a contingent of North Korean troops indoctrinated to die before surrendering. The question now is how much further this dangerous alliance between Pyongyang and Moscow will go. And as these regimes strengthen ties, how will the rest of the world respond to the growing threat they pose?
Cyber warfare just got personal, quite literally. A UK government report has revealed that Bluetooth-connected sex toys are vulnerable to hacking, exposing sensitive data, and even allowing attackers to control devices. From ransomware attacks on chastity belts to live feed breaches in smart toys, these incidents show how intimacy can quickly turn invasive. So, as our love lives go high-tech, how do we keep these digital bedroom invaders out? Find out in our next report.
Cyber warfare has just taken a very weird turn. They have gone from computers to pagers to in your pants, literally. According to research by the UK government's Department for Science, Innovation and Technology, news has come out that remote-controlled sex toys, specifically those with Bluetooth connectivity, are vulnerable to attack or interception by third parties. With the evolution of technology, sex toys too have become revolutionized. They come fitted with Bluetooth, have smartphone apps, and can be plugged into the internet. But while these features can make your life spicy, too much spice can lead to disastrous consequences. 4 years ago, a report by Forbes highlighted how hackers locked a person's chastity belt and demanded a ransom to unlock it. By the way, this was not an isolated incident. A TechCrunch expose revealed that a chastity device's database containing over 10,000 user records was breached by a security researcher. Another chilling example involves users of the Cellmate connected chastity belt, who reported being held to ransom by hackers demanding $750 in Bitcoin to unlock the device. The list goes on. In 2017, Standard Innovation Corporation, the makers of the Vibe toy, faced a $3.75 million settlement after revelations that the device was secretly collecting sensitive user data. That same year, another smart toy equipped with a camera was hacked, allowing outsiders to access its live feed. Intimacy turned invasive in seconds. This highlights how unsafe these devices can actually be. Malicious third parties can easily hack into databases and obtain information which might be a little too sensitive. So what can you do to keep these bedroom invaders out? Here are the top tips from cybersecurity experts. First, research before you buy. Check the manufacturer's reputation and security features. Encryption is your best friend. Change default passwords immediately. And no, password 123 does not count as secure. Also, update your device regularly. Firmware updates aren't just annoying pop-ups, they patch vulnerabilities in the system. You can also limit connectivity by turning off Wi-Fi or Bluetooth when the device is not in use. The reality is that our lives, including our love lives, have become increasingly intertwined with technology. Risks, therefore, have also grown. Internet-connected devices, whether it's your smart speaker, thermostat, or just other gadgets, all have vulnerabilities. This isn't just about one type of product. It's about rethinking how we approach cybersecurity across the board. The government's warning isn't meant to scare you away from innovation. It's a wake-up call for smarter choices, both from users and the companies designing these products. And let's be honest, no one wants to be the headline of a hacking horror story.
That's what we have for you in this edition of Crossfire. See you again tomorrow.